We were able to understand the structure of the stomach. What is the structure of the stomach? What are the important components over there? And then we now we are trying to understand how all of these structures facilitate in digestion, right? The bolus, when it reaches the stomach, it is going to activate, stimulate the gastric glands to secrete gastric juices in the cavity, in the gastric cavity. On the other hand, obviously this is going to be the chemical digestion. On the other hand, the peristalsis in the stomach wall churns the food and mechanically breaks it down and mix it with the gastric juices. Also, mixes it with gastric juices. So, what is a gastric juice? So, what is a gastric juice? When you talk about,
It is a juice that is produced by the stomach and it is an acidic juice.
very good. So, it consists of what? Dilute hydrochloric acid.
Hmm.
Dilute hydrochloric acid. What else? It has enzyme mucus,
Pepsin,
enzymes,
carcinogen.
and pepsin.
Pepsinogen.
Right. And basically, enzyme pepsinogen pepsinogen gets activated into pepsin
G.
in the presence of hydrochloric acid. In the presence of HCl, it gets activated in pepsin. The all right. Are you done writing?
G.
So, what all these gastric juices are going to do now? What are these gastric juices going to do? Number one, they stop action of amylase. All right. Number two, they are going to activate enzymes like pepsinogen into pepsin. All right. Provides acidic medium for optimum working of pepsin or optimum enzyme activity of pepsin. All right. And they also, this acidic nature, they also does what? Kills potentially harmful, kills potentially harmful microorganisms in food. All right. This is the this is what gastric juices what gastric juices actually do. Written.
एक मिनट थोड़ा सा नीचे करना। जी मैंने लिखना ही है।
Another thing that we should also write here is renin. Renin is also a protease. Yes. It is actually produced in the stomach of young mammals to break milk protein. All right. Also add this in the information, please. Basically, all of these are the functions which are generally due to the presence of HCl. Hydrochloric acid is the the major uh, one of the major constituent of gastric juices that contributes to all of these things. So what is written in red is actually what are gastric juices, what make up the gastric juices, and in blue is actually what gastric juices what are the action what facilitates what these gastric juices facilitates to. Okay, have you written this, all of it?
जी
All right, so what is going to happen now? So the food remains in stomach for it remains for 3 to 4 hours. Food remains in stomach for 3 to 4 hours, and then it becomes partial, it forms chyme or chyme. It forms chyme, which is what partially digested liquefied food. Is what partially digested liquefied food. Okay, this chyme is going to pass in small amounts into the duodenum, or the entry point of the small intestine. All right, that is why we are going to see that the pancreatic juices actually they're going to they release bile, and the bile is also going to speed up the digestion of fats, and it also provides, so the pancreatic juices, the pancreatic juices, bile and intestinal juices, all three fluids are actually alkaline in nature. So they are going to reduce the acidity of this chyme. This chyme is actually very acidic, right? Because it is being passed from the it is in a very slow amount, gradually it passes into the small intestine, the duodenum, the first part of the small intestine. Where
pyloric sphincter
yeah, pyloric sphincters are also present over there, which control the amount. The pyloric sphincters are there, which control the amount. They are muscular bands. We've already written about that. We have already written about that. They, when we were discussing the alimentary canal, we wrote about that. The pyloric sphincters, they're muscular bands at the end of at the beginning of the small intestine, at the end of the stomach. They gradually open and allow a very small amount of chyme to pass into the duodenum. All right, they control the amount that is going into the duodenum, into the small intestine, because we know that both end needs to be controlled. the end which is related to esophagus. It has been, the researchers show that one of the most leading causes of esophageal cancer is actually high acidic reflux that takes place in the stomach. So it needs to be controlled, the amount of the content, the content of stomach needs to be curtailed in a manner that it does not overflows in any part of the alimentary canal, whether it is esophagus or it is duodenum or small intestine. All right, is this clear?
जी
Any queries?
नहीं
We are going to be going into, from here onwards we are going to be doing small intestine inshallah in the next class. All right, inshallah.